सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। We have seen the Mangalam by the Bhashyakara. Now we will start the Upodghata Bhashya. Upodghata means introduction. Bhashyakara introduces Bhagavad Gita. Sa Bhagavan Srishtva idam jagat tasya cha sthitin chikirshuhu marityadin agre srishtva prajapatin pravritti lakshanam dharmam grahayamasa vedoktam tatonyascha sanaka sanandanadin utpadya nivritti lakshanam dharmam jnana vairagya lakshanam grahayamasa. Bhashyakara is talking about the relevance of Bhagavad Gita. What was the purpose of narrating Bhagavad Gita? Gitopadesha. To arrive at it, he starts referring to the beginning of creation. Saha Bhagavan Srishtva idam jagat. Ishvara is also called Bhagavan. Bhagaha asya asti iti Bhagavan. One who has Bhaga is called Bhagavan. Bhaga means all noble qualities. Generally, they enumerate 6 Bhaga. Jnana, Aishwarya, Shakti, Bala, Virya, Tejaha. It will come later. We will see then. So there are certain noble qualities. If anybody has even a little of them, they command respect, they command reverence. For example, Jnana, knowledge. When a person is knowledgeable, we naturally feel like respecting him. He is not omniscient. He has some more knowledge than others. Still, he attracts reverence. He commands reverence. One of the few bhaga the Ishvara has all these qualities in its totality. Samagra jnana, all knowledge, all Aishwarya. Aishwarya means swatantriya, freedom. You can also call it overlordship. Shakti, Bala. Shakti means samarthya, the ability to do anything. So, all noble qualities he has in his totality. Therefore, he is called Bhagavan. Because of these noble qualities, he deserves our adoration. Such a being, such a principle is called Bhagavan. Such a Bhagavan, the Bhagavan. Idam Jagat Srishtva. He created this Jagat. Srishtva. In fact, created is not a very good translation. Because creation, the idea of creation implies bringing forth something which did not exist earlier. But the Jagat existed even before the Srishti, in its unmanifest form, avyakta, avyakrita. Therefore, the word Srishti, proper understanding of the word Srishti is manifestation. He made the world manifest. From the unmanifest, it becomes manifest. So, making the world manifest is Srishti. Idam Jagat Srishtva. With this understanding, we can use the word creation. So I said this because we should understand the word Srishti properly. So creation is not a very accurate translation. But we don't have a better word in English. So we use the word created. So our idea of creation is different. It is not the theological idea of creation. Idam jagat srishtva, creating this world. Tasya cha sthitim chikirshuhu. He wanted to sustain this jagat. Just creation is not enough. He has to sustain this world as well. Sthitim chikirshuhu. Kartum ichchuhu chikirshuhu. With the desire of sustaining the world, the universe. With the desire of sustaining the universe, for the sake of sustaining the universe, he gives dharma. That is what Bhashyakara will tell. Sustenance of the universe should be for a meaningful purpose. For example, all of you are staying here 3 years. You are given food, shelter. That is enough for sustenance. For sustaining, we need food, shelter, clothing. What is the use of dharma? One may ask this question. You are here, given food and shelter. It is a sustenance. But is it a meaningful sustenance? It is not a meaningful sustenance. Your stay here has to be meaningful. And it is possible if you do your studies, if you do your sadhana, it is meaningful. Likewise, when Ishvara created the universe, he wanted to sustain the universe meaningfully. It will be meaningful only if the human beings are able to pursue the goal of their life. Only when they are able to pursue their purushartha. There are 4 purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama and moksha. For artha and kama, You don't need the help of Vedas. Even without the Shastra, even without the Vedas, you can have Artha and Kama. Everyone in the world has these two Purusharthas. It is universal. Artha and Kama. They want to earn money. They want to have security. And they want to enjoy in one way or another. But then there are other two. Dharma and moksha. In short, the spiritual growth, spiritual unfoldment, for that you need Veda Pramana. The higher meaning of life, greater purpose of human life cannot be accomplished without the help of the Shastra. You need the Shastra. Because the Shastra reveals the means for our spiritual unfoldment. And the teaching of the Shastra is called Dharma. Here, in this context, we are not using the word dharma to mean one of the four purusharthas. Here, Bhashyakara uses the word dharma to refer to all the disciplines that is revealed by the Vedas. Veda pratipadyaha prayojanavartho dharmaha. Dharma is a means revealed by the Veda to accomplish certain results, to accomplish a meaningful life. Veda pratipadyaha prayojanavartho dharmaha. So, all that is revealed by the Veda is dharma. The Karmakanda portion of the Veda reveals karma. The rituals, duties, values, all of them are dharma. Likewise, the Jnanakanda portion of the Vedas also reveals certain disciplines. Jnana and all that is required to accomplish jnana. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Sadhana Chatushtaya. Even that is called dharma. Bhashyakara refers to all the disciplines told in the Vedanta also as dharma. So all the disciplines that are revealed in the Shastra, in the Veda, is dharma. And the dharma is twofold. Pravritti lakshana dharma and nivritti lakshana dharma. Pravritti lakshana dharma is the karma. All that is revealed in Karma Kanda, which is referred to as karma. Karma doesn't mean any action in this context. Karma means all the disciplines revealed in the Karma Kanda. All the rituals, the duties, values, they are all karma. So karma is called pravritti lakshana dharma, because in karma you do pravritti. You do activities. Pravritti means being active. Action. Predominantly action. Whereas the Jnana Kanda reveals certain disciplines. It is called nivritti lakshana dharma. All the disciplines revealed in the Jnana Kanda, Vedanta, are nivritti lakshana dharma. Because in these disciplines, all these disciplines are aimed at jnana, jnana nishtha, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, etc. In all of them, nivritti is predominant. Withdrawal from action is predominant. Even to do Shravana, you have to withdraw from the actions. In active life, effective Shravana may not happen. That is why Sanyasya Shravanam Kuryat. Even to begin Shravana, one has to take sannyasa. Sanyasya means giving up the karma, giving up all responsibilities. You do Shravana. It is sannyasa pradhana. That is why it is called nivritti lakshana dharma. Action is not encouraged. Instead, withdrawal from the action is encouraged. In the Jnana Kanda. And the withdrawal from the action culminates in absence of doership, absence of kartrutva. That is where jnana culminates. नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धि नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमां संन्यासेनाधिगच्छति. We will see later on in Bhagavad Gita. It is nivritti lakshana dharma. So the dharma is twofold: pravritti lakshana dharma and nivritti lakshana dharma. And Shankaracharya will vehemently contend that these two dharmas cannot be performed by the same person simultaneously. One cannot combine pravritti and nivritti simultaneously. If you are going for nivritti, you have to give up pravritti. In short, karma and jnana cannot be combined. It will become clear as we go, as we proceed with the bhashya. So there are twofold dharmas: pravritti lakshana dharma, which is called karma, and nivritti lakshana dharma called jnana. In short, let's call it jnana. It doesn't just mean jnana, it means all the accessories, all the disciplines that lead to jnana. So now, Bhagavan has to give these two dharmas to the world, because only through the performance of these dharmas human beings can find meaning in their life. Human beings can lead a meaningful life. Therefore, he gives pravritti lakshana dharma as well as nivritti lakshana dharma to the mankind. But he cannot give them to the same person, because they cannot be performed by the same person at the same time. That is why he selects some people for pravritti lakshana dharma. Marityadin agre srishtva prajapatin. See the bhashya. Marityadin agre srishtva prajapatin pravritti lakshanam dharma grahayamasa vedoktam. He created Marichi, etc. There were some rishis. He created some rishis. Who are the rishis? Marichi, etc. Marichi, Atri, Bhrigu. There is a list of rishis. I don't know whether the list is there. You can look into the list in your book if it's provided. The list may also vary from Purana to Purana. So, he created some rishis, and these rishis became grihasthas. They are grihastha rishis. And grihastha, the life of a grihastha is very suitable for pravritti lakshana dharma. So he gave them the pravritti lakshana dharma. Marichyadim prajapatin. These Marichi, etc. are called Prajapati. Prajapati means They are the earliest fathers. So it is a special position in the scheme of creation. From Prajapati, all other beings are created. So Marichi, Daksha is also a Prajapati. All these words are used in the Purana. Marichyadim Prajapatim Srishtva. Having created Marichi, etc., he gave them Pravritti Lakshana Dharma. Grahayamasa. He gave them, handed over. Means he taught. He taught them Pravritti Lakshana Dharma. And where is this Pravritti Lakshana Dharma revealed? In the Veda. Vedoktam. So he gave them Veda also. Veda Pramana. And based on the Veda Pramana, he taught them Pravritti Lakshana Dharma. And he asked them to continue, propagate Pravritti Lakshana Dharma, karma. So they started performing various karmas like Agnihotra, etc. Agnihotra, Jyotishtoma, and various rituals are there. Then he created some other people. Tataha anyascha sanaka sanandanadim utpadya. Tataha anyan. Other than these people. Who are they? Sanaka, Sanandana, etc. Sanaka sanandanadim. They were all sannyasis. Right from childhood, they were inclined towards sannyasa. Sanaka Sanandanadin Utpadya, creating them, he gave them Nivritti Lakshana Dharma. Nivritti Lakshanam Dharma. And what is the Nivritti Lakshana Dharma? Jnana Vairagya Lakshanam. The Nivritti Lakshana Dharma is characterized by Jnana, Vairagya, etc. It is Vairagya. Jnana always goes with Vairagya. Jnana Vairagya Lakshanam Grahayamasa. He taught them. Thus, the twofold dharma were given agre, Marichadin agre srishtva prajapati. Agre means in the beginning of the srishti. He gave these two. And here we have to note one point. He created two different people. Tataha anyascha. Why anyan? Because the same dharma, the two dharmas cannot be performed by the same person at the same time. Bhashyakara will state this again and again later on, addressing the Purva Paksha. There is a Samuchayavadi. The Samuchayavadi will say Jnana and Karma should be done together. It is our Purva Paksha. Jnana and Karma should be done together. And then we will say it cannot be done together at all. Vividho hi vedokto dharmaha प्रवृत्तिलक्षणो निवृत्तिलक्षणश्च जगतः स्थितिकारणम्. Tatraiko, you can just put it into bracket because it is not there in some other versions. In Gita Press also it is not there. Yeah, it doesn't really fit well in this in this line. So you can just put it into bracket. It is not there in many other versions. So we won't consider Tatraiko. Vividho hi vedokto dharma. See, Bhashyakara clarifies. There are two types of Vedokta dharma. The dharma which is revealed in the Veda, Vedokto dharma. Dharma revealed by the Veda is dvividhaha, twofold. What are the twofold? Pravritti lakshano, nivritti lakshanascha. One is pravritti lakshana dharma, which is karma, and nivritti lakshana dharma, jnana. Jagataha sthiti karanam, and both are jagataha sthiti karanam. They are responsible for sustenance of the universe. Without them, the universe will not have any meaning. Praninam sakshad abhyudaya nishcheyasa hetuhu. Praninam sakshad abhyudaya nishcheyasa hetuhu yassa dharmaha brahmanadhyaihi varnibhihi ashramibhischa shreyorthibhihi अनुष्ठीयमानः प्राणिनां साक्षाद अभ्युदय निश्चेयस हेतुः यस्य धर्मः. The dharma leads to abhyudaya and nishcheyasa of all the beings. Praninam, the beings, specifically human beings, because dharma is mainly for human beings. The other animals cannot have dharma because they do not have choice, they do not have free will. So, praninam sakshat abhyudaya nishcheyasa hetuh dharmaha. The dharma is abhyudaya nishcheyasa hetuh. Abhyudaya means material progress, material happiness. The pravritti lakshana dharma if it is performed with the material desire in end, with the material desire as end, it will give material progress. You can chant Kanakadhara Stotram and you can get money. There are dharma, there are rituals for getting money also. material prosperity. It is abhyudaya hetu dharma. Likewise, there is putreshti. Putreshthyayajeta putrakamaha. What will putreshti give? Son. It is also abhyudaya hetu. Likewise, swarga. There are rituals that lead to swarga. So all these are abhyudaya hetu dharma. The pravritti lakshana dharma can be abhyudaya hetu if it is done with material enjoyment, material progress as its goal. If it is done as sakama karma, the same pravritti lakshana dharma, the same karma, if it is done without desire, with the Ishwararpana buddhi, as an offering to Ishvara, as nishkama karma, the same pravritti lakshana dharma will give chitta shuddhi. It contributes to chitta shuddhi. Thereby, it facilitates moksha. That is how it becomes a nishcheyasa hetu. Nishcheyasa means moksha. Nishchitam shreyaha nishcheyasam. Moksha. But then, the pravritti lakshana dharma cannot give moksha directly. It can be a stepping stone towards moksha by contributing to chitta shuddhi. But it cannot give moksha directly, because it does not give jnana. After the pravritti lakshana dharma, after getting chitta shuddhi to a sufficient extent, one should take to nivritti lakshana dharma. And then one gets jnana. And then you get moksha. Therefore, pravritti lakshana dharma is a sakshat abhyudaya hetu. Abhyudaya it will give directly. Sakshat. But paramparaya nishcheyasa hetuhu. Paramparaya means indirectly, subsequently, it can contribute to nishcheyasa also, moksha also. So sakshat abhyudaya hetuhu and paramparaya nishcheyasa hetuhu pravritti lakshano dharmaha. Whereas nivritti lakshana dharma is sakshat nishcheyasa hetu. It is a direct means for moksha. And it is not abhyudaya hetu at all. You cannot expect Abhyudaya with the Nivritti Lakshana Dharma. Listening to this class, don't expect any Abhyudaya. That is why I'm sure for most of you, the family may not have supported your idea of coming here. Why? It won't give Abhyudaya. Nishayasa. And Nishayasa doesn't seem attractive. It is Shreyaha, but not Preyaha. Preyaha means it is a dear. Dear means attractive, but it is not really good. It is not Shreyaha. The Preyaha is not Shreyaha. What seems attractive is not really good, not really beneficial. So Abhyudaya is a Shreyaha. Nishayasaha is Shreyaha. So Nivritti Lakshana Dharma is Sakshan Nishayasa Hetuhu. Yassa Dharmaha. So this Sakshad Abhyudaya Nishayasa Hetuhu should be understood properly. So Pravritti Lakshana Dharma is Sakshad Abhyudaya Hetu, but Paramparaya Nishayasa Hetuhu. Whereas Nivritti Lakshana Dharma is Sakshan Nishayasa Hetuhu. Brahmanadhyaihi varnibhihi ashamibhishcha shreyorthibhihi anushtiyamanaha. The dharma is meaningful when there is a dharmi. Dharmi means one who performs the dharma, one who pursues the dharma. And the dharma is not uniform. Everyone cannot have the same dharma. We don't have a standard dharma which will fit into everyone. That is why we have variation. Swadharma and Paradharma. What is right for a grihastha is not right for a sannyasi. The grihastha's swadharma is paradharma for a sannyasi. Living with his wife and children is swadharma. Taking care of his wife and children is swadharma for a grihastha. But it is paradharma for a sannyasi. And if a sannyasi starts doing the same, it will become adharma. Paradharma is adharma, as good as adharma. Paradharmo bhayavaha. It will come later on. So the dharma is assigned based on certain factors. What determines one's swadharma? There are many factors. Varna. There are 4 varnas. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. the four varnas. And each varna has its own swadharma. The dharma of a brahmana, the dharma of a kshatriya, dharma of a vaishya, and the dharma of a shudra. Dharma is divided in terms of varna. Likewise, ashramas, four ashramas: brahmacharya, garhasthya, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. So, based on varna and ashrama, the dharmas are allotted. Dharma is distributed. Brahmanadyehi varnibhihi. The varni means one who belongs to a given varna is called a varni. The varnis are brahmana, etc. And ashramibhishcha, ashramis. Ashramaha asya astiti ashrami. One who belongs to a given ashrama is called ashrami. Brahmachari. Brahmacharya is ashrama. Brahmachari is ashrami. Grihastha. Garhasthya is ashrama. Grihastha is ashrami. So various ashramas, four ashramas. The dharmas are different. Brahmachari has his own dharma. Grihastha has his own dharma. Vanaprastha has his own dharma. And sannyasi has his own dharma. Shreyorthibhihi anushtiyamanaha. Shreyorthibhihi. Those who want shreyaha, moksha, spiritual growth. Anushtiyamanaha. This dharma is pursued. Dharma is performed by various varnis and various ashramis. It was so in the beginning of Srishti. But then, as the time passed, the dharma started deteriorating. Why it started deteriorating? Bhagavan says, okay, we'll read. Yeah. Dirghena kalena anushtatrinam kamodbhavat hiyamana viveka vijnana hetukena adharmena abhibhuyamane dharme pravardhamane cha adharme jagataha sthitim paripipalayushuhu sa adikarta narayanakhyo vishnuhu bhaumasya brahmanaha brahmanatvasya cha. Okay, in your book cha is not there, right? Yeah. Cha, is there cha? No. Okay. Brahmanatvasya रक्षणार्थं देवक्यां वसुदेवात् अंशेन किल संबभूव ब्राह्मणत्वस्य हि रक्षणेन रक्षितस्याद् वैदिको धर्मः तदधीनत्वात् वर्णाश्रमभेदानां दीर्घेण कालेन, after a long time, in due course of time, dharma declined. How dharma declined? Why? What was the reason for the decline of dharma? Anushtatranam kamodbhavat. The anushtatr, those who are performing the dharma, those who are supposed to perform the dharma, kamodbhavat, they got kama. Desire overpowered them. And when the desires overpower, people start compromising with the dharma. Because of the overpowering desire, people compromised with the dharma, and slowly they started giving up the dharma. And the deterioration happens from generation to generation, little by little. In one generation, they compromise a little. If the grandfather was performing 1 hour of Sandhya Vandanam, the father performs for 45 minutes. Some parts of the Sandhya Vandanam is cut, trimmed off, cutting the corner. Then, after the father, the son cuts down even further. From 45 minutes, it becomes half an hour. I don't have enough time. I have to go to the office. So let me cut further. It becomes half an hour. And then the other person, the next generation, cuts even further. 15 minutes. Then it becomes 5 minutes in the next generation. Something he does with water. He doesn't even have, that Panchapatra and these things. He will just go to in the bathroom itself, he will do Sandhya Vandanam. Argyam. That is one more generation. 2 minutes finished. And the next generation, okay, you don't have to do Sandhya Vandanam, you just chant Gayatri. And the other generation, Gayatri is also gone. So now many people don't know what is Gayatri. The names may be Dube, Chaube, Dvivedi, Chaturvedi. He doesn't even know how to say Dvivedi. He says Dube. What is Dube? Dvivedi. He is supposed to know 2 Vedas. How much Veda do you know? Can you at least chant Gayatri? Even that is doubtful. Why? Because of compromise. Compromise with the dharma. And why there is compromise with the dharma? Kamodbhavat. Because of desires. Dharma takes the back seat. Artha and kama becomes predominant in life. That is how dharma declined. Anushtatrinam kamodbhavat. Hiyamana viveka vijnana hetukena adharmena. And when the dharma declines, the adharma prevails. Adharma becomes predominant. Why adharma becomes predominant? Hiyamana viveka vijnana hetukena. Because of reducing viveka vijnana. Reduction in viveka. Deterioration in viveka. What is right and what is wrong? Even this understanding goes. Because my father is not doing, why I should do? The viveka vijnana itself is gone. What is right and what is wrong? First of all, one should know it from the Shastra. Because Shastra is the pramana. Tasmat Shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavasthitau. We know the right and wrong from the Shastra. What I should do and what I should not do. And when the Shastra itself is not studied properly, there won't be viveka. Karya akarya viveka is lost because of the lack of study of the Shastra. The same thing is happening today. We don't have the study of the Shastra in the larger part of the society. Thanks to Macaulay's education. That is why people don't know what is right, what they should do, and what they should not do. So, Viveka Vijnana deteriorates. And when Viveka Vijnana deteriorates, people start doing what they are not supposed to do. Adharma. If I do what I am not supposed to do, it is adharma. And when adharma increases, it further overpowers the dharma. Adharmena abhibhuyamani dharme. The adharma overpowers dharma. And pravardhamane cha adharme. And then adharma increases further. Then, at the point of Mahabharata, now we have to consider the point that the time period of Mahabharata, Dwapara Yuga. That is what Bhashyakara is discussing now. At this point of time, Bhagavan once again thought of sustaining the world. If the adharma prevails like this, the world cannot be sustained. All dharma will go away. Then there won't be anything meaningful left in the world. Then he comes once again as Krishna and restores the dharma. When the dharma was at the verge of decline, we will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.